Aloha and welcome to Virtual Live at the Legislature. I'm Carolyn Tanaka, and joining me this morning are two representatives from the windward side of Oahu. Representative Lisa Kitagawa, she represents Kaneohe to Waihole, and Representative Scot Matayoshi, he represents Kaneohe, Manawili, and Olomana. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Listen, you two have been very proactive in working with your community during this time of shelter at home. You've been providing a lot of information to your constituents, and we want to discuss that. But before we get into that, I wanted to find out from both of you, what is the mood right now in your community? Representative Kitagawa, you want to start off?
Sure. I think the mood in our community is very similar to what's happening around the state. People are concerned, of course, with safety concerns. How do I keep myself and my family safe and not getting COVID-19? People have real challenges, especially because a lot of people have lost their jobs, have reduced hours. So I think people are really struggling, trying to get into the unemployment system. There's been so many challenges just because the numbers have been so great. Last week, it was reported that there were like 195,000 unemployment claims that were filed. So there's so many people who are out of work. The challenges also include, how do I pay my rent? How do I pay my mortgage? How do I feed my family because I don't have an income coming in anymore? So I think those are really the things that people are concerned about. But, I really want to highlight that within our Windward community, Scott and I have both seen just how the community has come together. And there are so many businesses and nonprofits, in addition to the city and the state, as well as community members who have really stepped up to provide for our community. So within just our 96744 area, we have 5 schools providing free breakfast and lunches to kids. We have Key Project out in Kahalu'u that is providing free lunch to anyone who is in need. We have numerous food bank distribution sites, whether it's the larger ones or through smaller churches that are doing it. So really, we've seen our community step up to meet the needs of the people here. And I think that's really great. It just really shows the strength of the districts that we represent.
Well, I lived in Kaneohe for 20 years, and I know that community is fantastic. Representative Matayoshi, but you guys have been doing a lot of things to help your constituents, at least providing them with information. So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing.
Yeah, well, one of the first things we did when this pandemic really struck was we created a website called the Windward Menu to try to help out the local restaurants. So a lot of the local restaurants have been having different hours, different specials, different carry-out, takeout options, and we wanted to make sure that everyone had all that information readily accessible so that when they did choose to eat out, they could just make the call and know that that restaurant is still open, still doing business, still has whatever menu they're running enacted. So if anyone is on the Windward side and would like to eat out, please visit our website, windwardmenu.com. It's got a lot of the latest information on there. That website actually morphed maybe about a couple of weeks ago. And we started posting not only restaurant information, but informational resources that Representative Kitagawa has taken the lead in creating. So we have a lot of informational pamphlets, a lot of informational flyers on there breaking down anything from the federal relief package to which schools are still doing school lunch and how to get that food security relief. So that website's really evolved. I think that's a great resource for our community, and I really encourage people to use it. A couple other things we've been doing are town halls. The Windward legislative team has been working very hard to put together a virtual town halls for small businesses or businesses in our communities, Windward businesses, and also Windward nonprofits. So we just ran that last week. It was very successful. We had a bunch of businesses and nonprofits participate, and that was more focused on how to get federal relief, how to apply for those packages. We're having another one on Thursday that's more of a general open to the public town hall. We're going to be focusing on public health, tips on how to keep your family safe, especially in multi-generational households. Lieutenant Governor Josh Green is going to be here or be there to talk about the current situation. And we're also going to have Kathleen Rhodes Merriman, who lives right down the street from me, talking about mental health in this time of crisis. So that's going to be happening at 7 p.m. on Thursday, virtual town hall. So we're going to be posting the links on social media, and we'll all be emailing them out. So if you'd like to participate, we encourage you to click on that link a little before 7 a.m. or I'm sorry, 7 p.m. on Thursday and join us. And we will be taking questions after the speakers speak for about half an hour, 45 minutes, however long we can, as many questions as we can. And you can submit those via Zoom or by Facebook. So we really encourage everyone to participate and get their questions answered.
Have you been getting, Representative Kitagawa, have you been getting very many calls, constituent calls, people asking for information, for help?
Yeah, we've been getting, emails and some phone calls as well, but people are asking, those common concerns that I had shared about in the beginning. Those are,
Right.
things that people are most concerned about. So that's why we've kind of, expanded the website to make sure that we're providing as much information to our community as possible.
Now, what is your office has taken the lead on putting together some informational flyers, you were saying? Did I get that
Yes,
correct?
so together those informational flyers that Representative Matayoshi talked about. I just want to also highlight another thing that's on the website. We have a part that's supporting local agriculture on the website. And something that we are actually doing right now is we are working to partner with the Hawaii Farm Bureau. We're trying to do something similar to the farm to car program, sorry, that they're doing at the Blaisdell. So we're trying to do one
Right.
here on the windward side. It's going to be a little bit different. We're looking at doing produce boxes instead of giving people the option of choosing all different kinds of produce. And we're hoping to bring that maybe towards the end of next week or the following week if possible. What we're going to be doing is really trying to provide a service for our community, but also to support our local agriculture industry because we want to really make sure that they can survive all of the challenges with COVID-19.
And Representative Matayoshi, I think you had something you're getting some hand sanitizers together.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been working with local breweries and distilleries to try to create more hand sanitizer and more alcohol-based cleaners for our hospitals and first responders. One of the more innovative techniques that they've been using is using all of the expired beer. And there's a lot of expired beer out there from all the closed bars and restaurants, and actually being able to use that and distill it as an immediately available source and distill that into hand sanitizers and alcohol-based cleaners. But we're working with the governor's office on suspending certain rules that are going to make that possible on a larger scale. And we're hoping to get that done very shortly.
Oh gosh, that sounds like you guys are really doing a lot of things out there. I wanted to take the last couple of minutes to talk a little bit about what Hawaii will look like in a post-COVID world. You are both freshman lawmakers. You are both in your 30s. This is your future. Scott, what do you think a post-COVID world would look like?
Yeah, I think we're almost out of time. So just very quickly, I mean, I think we really need to focus more on food security and agriculture. I think that's going to be really important. This has really proved that we need to grow more local produce here and not have to rely on the mainland. And I also want to make a point that focusing on tourism, we've been doing this the wrong way. We've been focusing on just getting numbers here. And we've shown that in a post-COVID world, getting more and more people here or convincing more and more people to load up into a flying metal tube with recycled air is not the way to go. So we've got to diversify our economy for sure.
And you, Representative Kitagawa, what do you think? You've got young children. What do you think a post-COVID world would look like?
Well, I think the things that Rep Matayoshi, are important, diversifying our economy, but also looking at our education system. I think what this situation is really going to show us is that kids are really resilient. I mean, they're now at home doing education at home. They're learning how to adapt. They're learning how to be resilient to new changes. And I think this generation that's going to be coming up is going to be really different because they're going to have experienced different things that previous generations didn't. And so, there's real positivity in that. And I think this is also really encouraging people to spend more time with your families. Now that we're all home, it's really strengthening, I think, relationships with spouses and kids and just changing those dynamics. So there are some positives that we can see out of this, and it gives us an opportunity to restart.
Well, it will definitely, when we come out of our homes, it will definitely be a different kind of world. Thank you, the two of you, for joining us, and thank you for all the good work that you're doing for the people on the windward side. Until we
Thank you.
see,
Happy to do it.
until we see you, thank you, guys. Thanks for joining us. And thank you to everybody who's been watching us virtually. We will see you next week. Aloha.
What are you doing? We have to go. I'm gonna be late for work.
It's Tuesday morning. I gotta record live at the legislature on Alelo. Senate and House leadership discussing what's happening at the state capitol.
So just watch it on the news tonight. Come on, let's go.
Hey, this is like getting the news before it's news. If only I could get this remote to work.
There. Can we go now?
No DVR? No problem. Watch Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. on Channel 49.